Hey guys, welcome back to Fair Iron and Customs. I'm Michael. I hope everyone's having a great week. Guys, I'm out here working on the Explorer this week because I kind of screwed up. It was probably about 2 weeks ago. I carried off the trash and managed to get the recyclables over the top of my electronics, and I burned up the crossover in my truck. Or actually spilled an empty soda can down the mostly empty soda. Actually, it was a beer can. Let's be honest. Um, Down the crossover, and well, it ain't working. So, what I've had in here, and guys, the truck's a mess. I need to take time and clean out, like most every other aspect of my life. Um, so what I've been using is a KX3. It's a three channel crossover for kicker. You can see I'm only using two, one for the bass, the sub output, and the mids and highs output. We're supposed to be putting, or I'm supposed to be putting tweeters in this truck, so we'll end up using the highs eventually. But what I'm stepping up to is a 4-channel because you may also see I have a set of M-Max Pro Audio PA 801s. I don't think I'm using those. We'll get into it another time about what I'm going to use for my actual mid bass. I'm going to probably stay with something kicker, and I want to mount them in the overhead console with the tweeters. You know, lots of stuff going on right now behind the scenes. So far as this goes, I'm not really, that it's going on in my brain, basically. I'm going to actually end up putting a Warhorse in this vehicle. We're running a dual voice coil sub, so I can turn it down to 1.5 or 15% of RMS on the Warhorse. You can set it to be whatever output you want it to be, and I'm not talking about a gain. It's actually got a knob where you can control the actual wattage output of the amp. So I think we're going to go ahead and put the Warhorse in this truck, and hopefully with the hopes of stepping up to some bigger speakers by the end of the year. We're still not going to be able to go to like 10,000 watts, but baby steps. We'll go up to some CVXs and should be able to go to 3,000, and maybe we'll get close to a 150 on the output. I mean, a 150 on the meter. I don't know. We'll see. I think it's capable. It may be capable of more than that. Honestly, I think this box is way more capable than that. Whenever it actually starts peaking, it starts peaking really hard, and the subs just can't handle the. They start getting hot, So anyway, let's open this box up. Take a look at this new. I don't even remember what brand I bought. I bought one that I liked. Okay, guys. So I bought a Taramps CRX5plus electric 5-way crossover. This one's actually, it says 5-way. I don't know. Like I said, I looked at crossovers for a while before I settled on this one. And let's see. So we're going to have one issue right to start with. No, actually we're not, because I thought the input was at the front on that crossover, so that's fine. Let's see. We should be able to set this thing up. I think we have sub front and rear, sub low input, low output. Let's get this thing hooked up and we'll go over it. Okay, guys, I've been messing with this thing for a bit, so it took me a few minutes to try to get it to where it was planned. So to get it to play without having to do a sub input, I have it in the front and rear input section, and I have my low output for my subs, my low mid output right here, and this is running mids and highs. I'm running the low pass on that at 70 hertz, The low pass subsonic filter is set at 40 hertz. I'm gonna play with this. I'm not sure if those numbers are exactly right where I was just playing. I'm gonna have to ride and tune, and you always kind of ride and tune and play with it to get it to where you want it. But I like a crossover because they have knobs, and you can kind of set things on the fly rather than having to go to your amp and retune your amp while you're setting up. So something I didn't realize about this is my mids and highs are going to be at 400, but that's not really going to matter because I'm going to go with something mid bass that I'm going to be able to run from 70, to 400 hertz. And if you're not familiar with how a crossover works, that's basically your slopes on your crossover. You set it at a frequency, and then it has a 12 dB per octave slope. So basically, you'll have them crossing over each other. Your slope, one will cross this way, and then one will just cross this way, and you got to meet in the middle. But what you're setting your frequency is to a range in which your speakers can handle playing the music that's coming out of them. You don't want high frequencies coming out of your subs, and you don't want low frequencies coming out of your mids and highs, because it'll kill your drivers. So anyway, guys, not that much of a video this week. This is again a Taramps CRX5plus, and the only other thing in the box is a sticker. So I think I'm going to actually add an EQ underneath my radio. We've got lots going on in this thing. Like I said, it was not a great time for me to lose a crossover, but I figured if I was going to buy a new crossover, I'll go ahead and get a 4-channel crossover. That way we can get, and the reason why we're working on the mid bass is because we are missing out on that whole range in there. And basically it is from, say, low E on a bass guitar on up till like your second octave E on a bass guitar, or your third octave E on a bass guitar. It is what we're missing out on. It's just very weak. So it's the sound game. I enjoy it. Hope y'all enjoyed the video, and I'll see y'all next week with something different.